They're running out of time. He's short! Let's fucking go! Oh my god.
I wonder when he's going to show up. Probably going to still be celebrating about the Giants and everything. Gonna have to hear about this for the whole fucking episode. Oh, this guy's back now. Got anything to say to the crowd here, man?
I'm happy.
I'm gonna have to deal with this whole episode, aren't I?
What is going on, guys? Nick's Picks Divisional Round Matchups. We are back, and we are joined, as we are always, by Ben. It was a wild card weekend, to say the least. I mean, obviously, I'm excited the Giants won. I'm going to have a lot to say about that in this episode. We're going to get into all that. A lot of other shit happened. I can't just breeze over all the other shit because I'm so excited about the Giants winning this weekend. But collectively, we almost got all of the wild card picks right besides the Dallas and the Buccaneers game. That was the only one that I actually got wrong. You got all your picks right. We'll get into the scores in a second. Ben, how you doing?
Honestly, I'm not doing too bad. I mean, obviously we'll get to... I got something to say about the Chargers and Jags game, mainly because of our text exchange, but we'll get there. It's pretty early in that.
Like you mentioned, let's get into this recap. Let's find out how this wild card weekend played out and what led us to the final 8 teams in the NFL fighting for Super Bowl 57 at the end of the year, 57. Wild card weekend started on Saturday with the San Francisco 49ers going up against the Seattle Seahawks, and honestly, the Seattle Seahawks stayed in the game for a little bit longer than I thought they would. They blew your 2-point pretty early on in the game, saying that San Francisco was going to lead. Yeah, they did it twice, actually. But overall, the 49ers were the better team, like we all kind of predicted, and they ran away with this one, 41-23, eliminating the Seattle Seahawks. They did a lot better this season than any of us could have ever anticipated. I mean, Geno Smith had a hell of a season himself, so nothing to hang his hat on. But yeah, the 49ers move on. The Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the Los Angeles Chargers. I watched this entire game. We'll get into how much of this game Ben got to watch, but I watched this entire thing. And Jaguars win this one 31-30 after trailing 27-0 at one point during this game. And to be honest, it wasn't shocking at all. When it was 27-0 Chargers, I knew the game wasn't over. I knew that the Chargers hadn't won. I was a little disappointed, but I knew that there was a good chance the Chargers were going to blow this.
No, honestly, I saw your text like, oh, there goes your pick. I'm like, yeah, probably. So then I hop on Fortnite and I was like, oh, look. And then I look down and I see third quarter, 30-20. I'm like, oh, maybe the Chargers choke this. And then I see 28-30. I'm like, okay, no, I got to watch the end of this game. The Chargers are just the Atlanta Falcons of the AFC.
If Saturday wasn't crazy enough, Sunday made it even crazier. It started with the Dolphins. Third string quarterback, almost beating the Buffalo Bills. A lot of people's Super Bowl favorites, I mean mine included, going into this, not only this season, but this playoffs. I think the biggest concern for the Buffalo Bills has to be their defense. Just because Josh Allen can throw the ball 80 yards down the field doesn't mean you need to call 80-yard bombs every fucking play. There was a 3rd and 1 in that game, and Josh Allen just heaved it 70 yards down the field. Why do that? I don't understand that play call at all. I don't know who's calling the plays in Buffalo. I'm sorry you lost Brian Daboll, but you're not getting him back. Buffalo's going to have to shape up a little bit in the second round, but they do get past Miami. Miami is eliminated. They had a good start to the season, but the second half of the year just really fell apart for them.
At least you can
considering everything that was happening. I mean, Waddle was dropping passes. You had your third string quarterback in the game. You're going up against a heavily favored Buffalo Bills team in Buffalo. I mean, they played their asses off considering.
I will say the Von Miller injury, I know we talk about it early on when it happened. It is showing a lot. Like, that is a key loss to this Buffalo team. I still think they'll be I think they can be fine because their offense will keep them in games, but that hurt. Injury is really starting to show.
This is the game I've been waiting to talk about.
This fucker right here. Go ahead.
Ben came over for this one.
I
know Ben watched this whole game too, so he knows everything that happened in this game, and he knows damn well that Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings offense played a hell of a game. I mean, they played their asses off. There was really nothing I can say about the Vikings offense except for that 4th and 8th call.
Just that last drive.
I don't know what the fuck that was. The Vikings played well. Hats off to the Vikings. They had a decent season. I mean, unfortunately, when you win 11 games by a point or whatever, they have a lot of one-score games all throughout the season. Eventually, your luck is going to run out. Those teams almost never win the Super Bowl. But moving to the Giants side of the football, Daniel Jones had an insane game. I mean, this is easily his best game as a professional athlete. There was a lot of things that went well on the Giants side of the football. There are some things that they're going to have to fix in order to beat Philly this upcoming weekend. But, I mean, as a Giants fan, this had to have been the greatest Monday that we've had in 11 years. It seems like.
I'll say since the last Super Bowl.
It literally has been a long time since we've been able to feel this good on a Monday about our Giants team. Whether or not we beat the Philadelphia Eagles this upcoming weekend, I am extremely proud of how big of a leap this Giants team took this season. And I could not be more surprised in the impact that Brian Daboll had on this offense. And in my opinion, easily Coach of the Year. Should be runaway Coach of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
This is the same team.
They were projected like. Yeah,
this is the same team that on 3rd and 8, inside their own 10-yard line, called a QB sneak last year. This is the same team, and they're in the divisional round.
The only downside, you're still paying Kenny Galladay, so that's the...
Dude, that block, though. That block might have been worth $72 million. The Sunday games finished out with the Bengals going up against the Ravens. I'm going to be 100% honest. I didn't watch a fucking minute of this game. I heard it was close. I heard it was close. I heard Huntley almost completed a Hail Mary at the end of the game to tie the game. But I did see the defensive touchdown that the Bengals did get to win the game. The Bengals didn't play to their best. That's somewhat good news for Buffalo that you're not seeing the Cincinnati Bengals team that we've been seeing the last couple weeks. It looks like they kind of took their foot off the gas this week. So somewhat good news for Buffalo. But either way, Cincinnati Bengals move on. Baltimore is eliminated. It was a very roller coaster year for Baltimore. And now Lamar Jackson is literally just the only question on everyone's minds in Baltimore. What's going to be the deal with him? Is he going to get the contract? Is he going to have to test free agency? I don't know.
I mean, they stayed in the game because of their defense, so they can at least hang their hats on that. But I like Dobbins' comments. He was like, if we had Lamar,
Dobbins is out. Dobbins is definitely out. He was pissed off about how much he was used in that game, too.
Honestly, though, I don't blame him. But, like, I do agree. If Lamar was healthy in that game, they would have won.
And we finished off Wild Card Weekend with a Monday night matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's start it off with the fact that the Dallas Cowboys scored 31 points in this game, which you would think is 4 touchdowns and a field goal.
Like a field goal, yeah.
Not 5 touchdowns and 4 missed extra points by kicker Brett Maher, whatever. Maher. It doesn't matter because he's not going to be a Dallas Cowboy next year. I can tell you fucking that. Sorry. Either way, Cowboys, their offense played a great game. Their defense, I've absolutely shut down Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the Cowboys move on. They will have to bring their A game going up against the San Francisco 49ers. For Tampa Bay, and I guess more specifically for Tom Brady, is this it? No, once again, we find ourselves in this question mark type of year with both Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. It almost feels like a complete deja vu from last season. I think, in my official prediction, I think Tom Brady is done on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't think he's done in football, though. I don't think he's done in football, though. I'm not going to say where I think he's going to go. I'll keep that to myself until the off-season video or whatever we decide to do after the Super Bowl special. But I think he's done in Tampa. I don't think he's done in the NFL.
So then we can still have a winner in the NFC South with a losing record. God.
But with all that being said, Ben got all of his wild card predictions right. The Jaguars game, miraculously. The Bengals game and the 49ers Seahawks game. He got all 3 of those correct. I got the Giants game correct, miraculously. And I managed to get the Bills game correct. It didn't get the Cowboys over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Neither of us got our 2 points. So Ben scored 12 points last week. I only scored 8 points last week. It was only a 6-point difference last week. So Ben, you are now within a 2-point conversion of tying this thing up and potentially even taking the lead this week with a lot of points potentially to be scored this upcoming weekend in the divisional week. Since there are only 4 divisional round games to go through, it would be a little too short if we were to just go me talk about 2 games, Ben talk about 2 games. So what we are going to do for this special is we're going to talk about 2 games in 2 games. But at the end of me talking about the first game, Ben is also going to give a score for the game that I predicted. I'm going to give a score for the game that Ben predicts. And those picks underneath are going to be worth 3 points compared to the 5 points that the main picks are going to be worth. I don't know if that was confusing. I hope it wasn't. Let's move into these divisional round picks with a score. Currently, I didn't actually say this a minute ago. I said how much we scored, but I have 139 points going into this divisional round. Ben has 137, so it is a very, very close race going towards this Super Bowl special. Ben is clinging, trying to get this comeback and trying to get his first ever win in Nick's Picks history. And we will start with the Saturday games, the games that will be played on Saturday. It is the Giants and the Eagles. They're the later game, actually. And the Chiefs and the Jaguars will be starting off the week. So if you want, we can actually start with you with the Chiefs and the Jaguars pick.
The Chiefs, I mean, I did text you. I was actually close to picking the Jags purely because of the joke, because Trevor Lawrence has won. Trevor Lawrence has won hasn't lost on a Saturday, and I was like,
that's the fact I was going to bring up too.
Yep, he has not lost on a Saturday, so I'm a little iffy about the boy wonder, but come on, dude. It's Mahomes. I would not even be mad at you if the roles were reversed here, because obviously he did get 3 points when I would lose 5, and if this was flipped. But I am picking the Chiefs to win this game. I have them winning 34-24. Really, it's weird because they are coming off a bye, but again, I just don't trust the Jags. I mean, I'm surprised they came back against the Chargers. Yes, it's the Chargers, but you still had to come back from 27 points and 4 interceptions. I just don't think they have enough in them at least to go against this offense.
I mean, I'm going to have to agree. I mean, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. I really do praise the Jacksonville Jaguars for what they did this season, but yeah, I am going 30-17 Chiefs over the Jacksonville Jaguars to make it only a 2-point potential win for you, because I'll get 3 points as well as your 5. And now we move on to the Giants going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. I said it. All right,
just get it over with.
I'm 2-0 in Nick's Picks. So me losing this year doesn't mean as much to me as the Giants winning. Even if it means risking the 8-point swing that this is going to be, or not really an 8-point swing. It's more of just like a 3-point swing because I just get nothing for it. Yeah. Even if it's worth you getting 3 and me getting nothing out of this game, I am picking the New York Giants to upset the Philadelphia Eagles in this game. I have them winning 27-24 over the Philadelphia Eagles. Look, there is a little bit of method to this madness. In history, it is historically tough for a team to beat another team 3 times in a season. It's happened a lot of different times in which divisional opponents will play each other twice in a season. One of those teams will be clearly better than the other one all throughout the regular season, but then when the playoffs come around and that team has a bye week, that bye week really fucks with some teams. So that's one of the things I'm going off of. The Giants offense played outstanding last week, and Philadelphia did not look great the last couple weeks of the season, even when they had all their starters going in against the Giants in week 18, and the Giants almost came back to win that game. There's method to the madness. Obviously, I know the Philadelphia Eagles are huge favorites in this game. Obviously, I know Ben's like, yeah, no shot the Giants are going to win this game. You're just an idiot. But, like, the bottom line is I believe in this team. I think there's a very, very legitimate shot in them winning this game. So I'm sending it 27-24 Giants.
I will at least agree with you that they have more of a puncher's chance than the Jaguars of upsetting the 1 seed. Having said that, and I will talk a little bit more about it in a sense in my 2-point, because my 2-point has to do with both Saturday games because they're the 1 seeds. I have the Eagles winning this game 37-24, because I do not think the Giants. I think the Giants will be in. I think it's gonna be like.
I can see if the Giants lose this game.
It's gonna be close for a first half, and then
if the Giants lose this game, that's how they're gonna lose it. They'll keep it close for the first 3 quarters, and then they're just gonna run out of steam. So let's get into the Sunday games now. We will have the Cincinnati Bengals going up against the Buffalo Bills as the first game on Sunday, followed by the Dallas Cowboys going up against the San Francisco 49ers. So obviously I have the Bills and the Bengals because the Bills were my Super Bowl pick at the beginning of the year. I have been like almost a low-key fan of Buffalo all season long without actually being a fan of Buffalo. This is a tough one. This is probably the toughest matchup of the week. These are two of the best offenses in the league, in my opinion. I mean, if you obviously, Kansas City and Philly are also up there with them, but this is just a powerhouse matchup. This could be your Super Bowl in a sense. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see what these two teams could do against each other. We only got to see like the first drive really of each team. I mean, I'm going to go with Buffalo. Obviously, I kind of feel like I have to. As much as I really do feel like Buffalo very much will lose this game, I'm going with the Bills to win this one 31-28. I don't know, man. I really...
This is a tough one.
I'll
give you that.
You know what? I'll say this. What's really making me think about this is how the Bills played last week. But then you start thinking about how the Bengals played last week. The Bengals offense didn't play all that great last week either. So now I'm looking at it and I'm like, could either of these teams beat Kansas City? This is set to be a very good game nonetheless, and I do think these are two very legitimate Super Bowl contenders. I just do think the Bills are going to get the better of this round, 31-28.
I'll be honest with you, dude. I was back and forth on this. The Buffalo hater, man. No, this is such a tough matchup to call. Because really, both teams didn't play that great in their previous matchup. You know, Miami, it's tough because Buffalo at least kept putting up points. I mean, Miami doesn't have a great defense, but like that Ravens defense really stopped the Bengals offense, but I don't think the Bills defense is that great. So I have this as still a pretty low scoring game. I have the Bengals win this one 27-24, and it's such a Josh Allen and Bills fans hate this. It's such a coin toss. All right, and we finish off this hopefully great divisional round weekend with the 49ers going against the Dallas Cowboys. Hopefully, Maher, if he's still on the team, maybe he attempts an extra point. I don't think so because I don't think it's going to happen. I wouldn't
trust him.
And it's weird that I trust Brock Purdy with the Niners. But then again, he has been playing very well. I hats off to him. He is doing phenomenal. A lot of first-year quarterbacks in their first starts have played very well in this last weekend. But the Niners team, although Dallas, I really do like Dallas's defense. I think they have a very solid defense. That Niners defense is just something else. They basically shut out the Seahawks. And the Seahawks don't have a great offense, but they completely shut them out the second half, more or less. So I have the 49ers winning this game 32-20. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second.
No,
I have the Niners winning. I have the Niners winning this one 32-27. I do have it within one score. I think Dallas will try and pull away or try and get back into this game late, but I do think the Niners, outside of maybe Philly, I think those two are the best teams in the NFC.
What did you say again?
I said 32-27.
Wow, okay.
What's your? Oh, I want to hear yours now.
Pretty fucking close. I had 34-28. Yeah, I agree. Dallas, as much as I like to talk shit about Dallas, they have a great team. I just think that you don't have a Super Bowl winning coach, you don't have a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and you don't have a Super Bowl winning owner. So that's all I really have to say. Like, as long as you have Jerry Jones, I don't think you're winning a Super Bowl. I think I could just stop there. I don't even have to say Dak Prescott and Mike McCarthy, because maybe you could win a Super Bowl with them, but it's Jerry Jones. I don't think you can win with.
I don't think McCarthy. I mean, well, he has won, but he has Rodgers. Yeah. I do think you can win with Dak. And we finish out this insane divisional round with the 2-point conversions. I had a lot of different things I wanted to say about this 2-point conversion. First of all, the main thing I wanted to do was I wanted to do something about the fact that there are 3 NFC East teams out of the 4 NFC teams remaining, which is insane. 75% of the NFC teams remaining come out of the NFC East. So I wanted to do something about that, but I couldn't really come up with anything. So I completely ditched that idea and went back to my Super Bowl pick between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals. Because you know what? The more I thought about this game, the more I really wanted to go into it. I was just thinking, this is the best matchup of the weekend. Yeah, Giants-Eagles is a divisional matchup, and it's an exciting matchup, and I can't wait to watch it. Chiefs-Jaguars is just kind of meh. 49ers-Cowboys could be a great defensive matchup, and I'd be interested to see how Brock Purdy does in that game. But yeah, to me, Bills-Bengals is the marquee matchup of this weekend. And it is not the marquee matchup because of their defenses by any fucking mean. The Buffalo defense absolutely shit the bed last week against the Miami Dolphins. They're going to have to pick it up this weekend. And the Cincinnati Bengals defense, they played well, but you were going up against Tyler Huntley. So both of these defenses are going to have to step it up this weekend.
And I don't think either one is going to. So much so that there will be more offensive yards produced in this game between the Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals than any other game on divisional round weekend.
All right, so I'm going to change my score. 10-7, got it. Because that
10-7,
for either of us.
But like 600 yards for each team. That's fine.
All right, whatever.
They just keep turning it over in the red zone.
they turn over in the red zone. Well, you didn't say no turnovers, so or you didn't say.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about turnovers. I didn't say anything about score.
You just said
they
yards.
can get like 1,000 yards and score 3 points. I don't give a shit.
That is technically possible. All right. Well, my 2 point has to do with these Saturday games and the 2-1 seeds in Kansas City and the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm so confident in these 1 seeds, so confident that that week of rest is going to be beneficial, even though there are cases where it's not. Both of these teams, if you looked at my score predictions, it'll make sense. Both of these teams will win their game. I'm doubling down for a second week, dude. Didn't work out last week, but I'm going to double down. Between Kansas City and Philly, they will both win their matchups by at least 10 points.
10's
I said 34-24.
10's a lot to win by in a playoff game.
Yeah, I think that these two teams are going to show up. They're the 1 seeds for a reason. Right. I think at least 10 points these two teams win. Now, watch it be 9 points.
Ben's just like, fuck it. I'm going to get my points for the Eagles beating the Giants anyway, so I can risk my 2 points.
Basically, yeah. More or less, yeah.
I can just waste the 2
points.
points.
Anything, if Philly blows out them and at least Kansas City holds on 10 points, I'll get all the points right there.
All right, so that is it for divisional round weekend. It is set up to be an amazing weekend. I'm just happy that the Giants are still in this, honestly. I mean, if you told me at the beginning of the season this was going to happen, obviously, I would have told you, yeah, thanks for believing in us, but you're fucking crazy. I'm very excited to see how the Giants play this weekend. Like I said, win or lose, it was a great season all around, and I'm very proud of how far this team got this year. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, be sure to go follow us over on Twitch. We are live over there Mondays and Fridays at 6:30, Saturdays and Sundays at noon. We are live here on YouTube Tuesdays at 5. But we'll be ready for the conference championships next week. We are almost at the end of this season. Only one more episode of picks before we get to our Super Bowl special. One more after this.
That's crazy, dude. It flew by.
And we are at the Super Bowl special. It's been an insane year. I appreciate you guys watching all throughout this year and including this episode. Ben, is there anything you want to say before we head out of here?
Still got no dog in the fight. I'm just hoping for some great games, honestly.
Like I said, it is 139 to 137. Ben, it has been one hell of a year, and honestly, I'm definitely blowing this thing by picking the Giants. 100%, I am blowing this thing by picking the Giants.
I want you to know,
I'm putting all my chips on the Giants. If I lose this game, I pretty much lost the picks.
If I win this by 3 points, that's why.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I'm putting all my chips on the Giants, and I'm fully aware and okay with the fact that if the Giants lose this weekend, I lost Nick's picks. And I'm okay with that. Ride or die with the Giants this year.
You know what? I commend you for that, because if you didn't, I'd say you're smart, but I'd say you're fake. But it is what it is.
Ride or die. Have a great one, guys. We will see you in the conference championships next week. Enjoy these divisional round games. They're set up to be great. Have a great one. Peace. What do you even have to say to me at this point?
Honestly, dude, I got nothing.
You can't even make fun of me for the Giants. You're still technically losing, even though I just made this whole speech about like how you're about to come back and probably win this thing. Like, you're still losing, so you can't really even talk shit about that yet. Like, this is your talk shit moment, and you have literally nothing to talk shit about me to, and it's kind of nice. I like it.
Well, to be fair, I did say week 18 that I'm just gonna ride this out. And just gonna stay calm. Let's see what happens. Oh, and bye, guys.